Welcome back, explorers of hidden realms, to Epic Worlds Explained, your gateway to the deepest mysteries, epic lore, and mind-bending theories from the greatest stories ever told. I'm your guide through these epic worlds, and today we're diving into one of the most tantalizing enigmas from George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire universe, brought to life in HBO's Game of Thrones. Buckle up, because we're unraveling a fan theory that's as elusive as a faceless man's shadow. Is Syrio Forel truly Jaqen H'ghar in disguise? It sounds like a wild speculation at first glance, doesn't it? A simple water dancer from Braavos morphing into a shape-shifting assassin. But oh my friends, the more you peel back the layers, the more the pieces align in ways that will send chills down your spine. Let's journey back to the beginning, step by step, and see if this mask holds up under scrutiny. Braavos, the free city shrouded in fog and secrets. Not just any port town, but a labyrinth of canals, bridges, and illusions. It's a place where identities dissolve like mist at dawn, home to the infamous Faceless Men, that ancient order of assassins who serve the many-faced god, the deity of death itself. They don't just kill, they become no one, shedding faces like snakeskin to strike from the unseen. And here's where our tale ignites. Both Syrio Forel and Jaqen H'ghar hail from this very city. Coincidence? In Martin's world, coincidences are as rare as dragons in Westeros. But let's not jump ahead. We must start with the man who first danced into our hearts. Enter Syrio Forel, the enigmatic swordmaster. We meet him in King's Landing, amid the intrigue of the Iron Throne. He's no armored knight clanking about in plate mail. No, Syrio is a vision of grace, clad in simple leathers, wielding a slender blade like an extension of his soul. Ned Stark, ever the honorable Lord of Winterfell, hires him to tutor young Arya in the art of the sword. But Syrio doesn't just teach her to swing steel. He imparts wisdom that echoes through the ages. "What do we say to the god of death?" he asks her, his voice a velvet whisper laced with Braavosi flair. And Arya, fierce and unyielding, replies, "Not today." Those words aren't mere bravado. They're a mantra, a philosophy forged in the fires of survival. Syrio teaches her the water dance, to move like the sea, fluid and unpredictable, to see with more than eyes, to listen to the wind and feel the shift of shadows. The seeing, the true seeing, he intones, that is the heart of it. He's molding her not just into a fighter, but into something deeper, something faceless. But then comes the vanishing act that sparks it all. In a heart-pounding standoff, Syrio faces Sir Meryn Trant and a squad of Lannister guards. Armed with nothing but a wooden practice sword, a toy against tempered steel, he stands defiant. "The first sword of Braavos does not run," he declares, his eyes gleaming with that unshakable calm. He urges Arya to flee, and as she slips away, we hear the clash of wood on armor, the grunts of battle. And then, silence. No body dragged through the halls, no triumphant boast from Trant, no funeral pyre. In Game of Thrones, where deaths are painted in vivid crimson, think the Red Wedding's carnage or Oberyn's gruesome end, an off-screen demise screams suspicion. Martin himself has teased us with this rule. If you don't see the body, don't count them out. Syrio doesn't die, he simply fades. Fast forward through storms of war and whispers of betrayal. Arya, hardened by loss, finds herself chained in Harrenhal, a cursed castle dripping with dread. Among the prisoners is a man unlike any other, soft-spoken, with eyes like polished obsidian, and a demeanor as still as a predator in wait. He introduces himself as Jaqen H'ghar, a Lorathi by claim, but his accent betrays Braavosi roots. He's calm amid chaos, deadly without effort. And when Arya saves his life, along with 2 others, he repays her with 3 deaths, executed with chilling precision. "A man pays his debts," he murmurs, his voice a silken thread. But Jaqen is more than a killer. He's an enigma wrapped in riddles. He fights with the same ethereal grace as Syrio, disarming foes not with brute force, but with cunning and speed. And then, the revelation. In the House of Black and White, that temple of death in Braavos, Jaqen sheds his face like a discarded cloak, becoming no one. He trains Arya anew, echoing Syrio's lessons. To detach from self, to observe without judgment, to strike without mercy. "Valor Morgulis," he teaches, "all men must die." But listen closer. "There is only one God," Jaqen says, his gaze piercing Arya's soul. And the girl knows his name. Sound familiar? It's the echo of Syrio's creed, word for word, soul for soul. The parallels don't stop at philosophy, they weave through every thread of their beings. Syrio's training emphasizes balance, instinct, the dance of death, teaching Arya to catch cats in Braavos alleys, to sense lies in a heartbeat. Jaqen mirrors this. He sends her on trials of deception, poisons her senses to hone her awareness, molds her into a vessel for the many-faced god. Both men are Braavosi to their core, masters of disguise in a world of blunt swords and blunter ambitions. Syrio claims the title, First Sword of Braavos, a position of honor. Yet no one in Braavos, not the Sea Lord, not the priests, ever mentions him by name. It's as if he was a ghost, a face worn for a purpose. And Jaqen? We know the Faceless Men can become anyone, anywhere. Why not a swordmaster sent to scout a Stark girl with potential? What if the guild foresaw Arya's path, her list of names, her unyielding quest for vengeance, and dispatched an agent to guide her from afar? Syrio plants the seeds, Jaqen harvests the assassin. But let's play devil's advocate, shall we? Counter-arguments abound. Syrio's fate could be simpler, a valiant death off-screen to spare us the grief. Jaqen's Lorathi guys might be just that, a separate soul from Syrio's. The shared phrases? Mere echoes of Braavosi culture, where death is revered like a lover. Yet these dismissals crumble under scrutiny. In the books, Martin describes Jaqen's transformations with alchemical precision, hinting at deeper connections. And that signature line, "There is only one God, and his name is Death," isn't tossed around lightly. It's uttered by only these two in the vast tapestry of Westeros and Essos. Coincidence, or a deliberate breadcrumb from the master storyteller? Adding fuel to this inferno, George R.R. Martin himself. In interviews, when pressed about Syrio's end, he smirks that cryptic smile and says, "Well, you didn't see him die, did you?" He neither confirms nor denies, much like a faceless man evading truth. The showrunners, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, have danced around it too, leaving doors ajar for theories to slip through. And in The Winds of Winter, Martin's long-awaited next book, who knows what faces might resurface? So, epic explorers, what say you? Was Syrio Forel merely a kind-hearted mentor, sacrificing himself for a girl with fire in her veins? Or was he Jaqen H'ghar all along, a faceless man wearing a mask to shepherd Arya toward her destiny? Could he still lurk in the shadows, watching over the girl who became no one? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Theories, evidence, wild speculations. Let's unravel this together. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to Epic Worlds Explained for more lore breakdowns, fan theories, and epic analyses from worlds like Westeros, Middle-earth, and beyond. And remember, Valar Dohaeris, all men must serve. But in the Game of Thrones, not all serve under their true face. Until next time, keep questioning the masks around you. What do we say to the god of death? Not today.